we not live?
Ryan,
Huh?
attempting. I have to start from scratch here. Oh, we're live. Finally. I don't know what was going on. Okay. Sorry, Under Big Dog Nation. Sometimes OBS just does not. I did everything the same way I did it the first time, and the first time it didn't work. So I don't know. We're 2 minutes, a couple minutes late here.
We live, Gator?
We're live, yeah, yes. I'm just letting Under Big Dog Nation know we are a little bit late. Technical difficulties. We are here though. I will start us off. Have a. It's Friday. It's weekend. Um, I hope everybody's feeling all right. Getting ready for these games coming up on the weekend. Getting ready for the NBA season that's starting on Tuesday. A lot of good things to look forward to, and also another good show for y'all today. So you want to add anything to the intro real quick, or you want me to start us off with the
Buddy.
sports news?
Let's go.
He will be on cam soon. Don't worry, the CEO's
We
not
don't
going anywhere.
need,
CEO
don't
is
we
not
got the
going
underbig?
anywhere. He's doing some grocery shopping. He'll
Don't
be
we
on
got
there.
don't we got the under big dog emblem showing up right now for me?
We do indeed.
Right.
We
So we
got the
don't.
logo.
I mean, we good.
So I'll start us off with the sports news for the day. Let me pull it up here real quick. I think I deleted it. Just give me 1 second here. I think one of the things we'll start with the NFL while I pull this up. AR-15 Anthony Richardson is officially out for the season. They kind of hinted at that, but he is getting that surgery that they talked about. He is out. Rookie season done. Sad to see because he was having a really promising start to his career. I hope he can get his health right. I really do. So, some positive injury news. We'll start with the bad first. Garoppolo out versus the Bears. He tweaked I think his back or his neck. I got to get that corrected in the win against the who did they beat this weekend? Do you know? Was it the Patriots? Yeah, the Patriots. In the win versus the Patriots this weekend. He's out versus Chicago, so they're either gonna start Brian Hoyer, or the rookie that they drafted, Aiden O'Connell. Some positive injury news. Deshaun Watson is practicing in full. He might start Sunday. They're not sure yet. But Jahmyr Gibbs, rookie running back for the Lions, is set to return this week. I know King is very excited about that.
I am.
We'll switch over to baseball. We got the NLCS and the ALCS going on right now. The defending World Series champs, the Houston Astros, fell down in the ALCS actually 0-2 to start the series, but they battled back and won 2 games on the road to even the series at 2. That game is going on right now. I'll give you guys a live update. It's in the 8th inning. Texas is actually winning 4-2. So it looks like Texas is about to go up 3-2 over Houston. There's still an inning and a half left, so anything could happen. But as of right now, it looks like Texas is going to take the 3-2 series lead. In the NLCS, the D-backs won last night. They on a walk-off. They were down 0-2 in the series, went back home, and took the dub. So they made the series 2-1. I think they play again tonight, so they're going to try to even that series up. And man, I'm a Mets fan, so I don't like anything Philly related. But when it comes to baseball, man, Philadelphia is the place to be. There's no atmosphere like a Phillies playoff game. I'm not gonna lie. So, man, there's something about that team in the playoffs. They made a crazy World Series run last year. They're trying to do it again this year. And we'll switch over to the NBA now. 2 quick things with the NBA. Harden skipped 76ers practice. I don't know what's going on there, King. We might have to add that into our repertoire, our topics to start the season next week. Man, that's a really interesting situation going on over there in Philadelphia. And then we got an amazing career. Andre Iguodala retires after 19 seasons, making LeBron officially the oldest player in the NBA. Um,
Wow.
what a career! Yeah, Finals MVP. I don't know if he deserved it as much as Steph Curry, but it's in the rafters. It's in the. I'm not. I don't want to take anything away from him. Amazing years in Philly. Great career. Congratulations on retirement, Iggy. Hall of Famer. Quick Hall of Famer.
It's Iggy.
Quick. Just a quick yes
Mm,
or no. There's no
if I
reason.
had to say quick, no.
No. Okay.
If I had to say quick,
Okay, so yeah, that's our sports news. I would say yes. We're gonna maybe have to add that as a topic as well, since it's trendy.
uh,
Maybe next
uh,
week.
okay,
Let's respect Andre Iguodala a little bit. Um,
okay, okay.
Thursday night football reactions. We're gonna start off with the Thursday night games over here real quick.
Let's talk about it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's do it. Jaguars. I was the only one to pick them. The only person to pick them last night on our last show. What's up with them? They started 1-2, 4 in a row. They riled off 4 in a row. They look really good. They had some. They let New Orleans kind of get back into the game last night. But what are they? Are they rolling? Are they contenders or pretenders, King? I'll let you start off with this one.
Uh, Contenders. I have to throw the if factors in there. I have to. I have to throw the if factors in there. Um, Contenders are in, and make sure you're checking that YouTube. Um,
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
if you got everything
I
up,
know you're not home,
um,
so
I got some people that might be joining the show today as well to get in on these takes, but it's all predicated and dependent on um it's all predicated and dependent on if this defense can continue to play like how they've been playing. You got Cisco in the backfield. You got the number one overall pick up front from Georgia. Forget his name. You got guys on that defense playing very very hard,
what up,
playing
Moz
team
Dogs?
playing team oriented. Guys on that Jaguars defense. That Jaguars defense right now is looking absolutely amazing right now. If they can continue to play at a high level, especially against quality teams, they've been playing quality offenses and been doing really good, pretty good. And so if that offense can be what we expected it to be, and that defense stays sort of like in that bend but don't break category, honestly, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't see why not. I don't see why the Jacksonville Jaguars can't end up in the Super Bowl. That's just real talk.
I agree. I was hoping you would say uh, pretender, so I had some nice little
No, we don't
debate
got
to
to
start the
debate
show
every
off.
every
Yeah,
every
I know.
sports
It would have been
topic is not a
it would have been
debate.
fun to start the show off
I
like
feel
that though.
you.
I gotta agree. I took them to win the game. I love what I've seen out of the Jaguars, and I don't think they're playing until they're full of potential yet. I don't think they're getting Calvin Ridley involved enough. Travis Etienne's having a hell of a season. Um, like he's like going into the season, I would have thought like Calvin Ridley would have been the MVP. Trevor Lawrence or Calvin Ridley would have been like the MVP on this team, but it's looking like Travis Etienne. And if they get the if they if it, I'm just scared of their full potential. Like I know they're not like I know Trevor Lawrence can be better. I know Calvin Ridley can be better. Christian Kirk is proven to be probably the number one option on that team right now. And then you got Evan Ingram who contributes as well. Um, the boys on defense are looking good right now. Um, they get a little too comfortable in their head when they're ahead. That I do notice because the defense comes out flying. The Jacksonville the Jaguars defense comes out flying at you. But if you they almost took the Chiefs to the brink. They beat Buffalo. They wound up beating Buffalo. Buffalo and Jacksonville back-to-back games. And the Falcons are not a bad team either. They beat Falcons, Buffalo, Saints on the road back-to-back weeks. Two games in London. They had to fly out to London. They went 2-0 in London, then come back home and got to play on the road. against a good Saints defense with Marshawn Lattimore and Cam Jordan and company, like, and did that, I think they're contenders. I wouldn't. I'm not saying I think this is what's going to happen, but I would not be surprised if they won the AFC. I would not be surprised if they get to an AFC title game. I think they could beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs aren't looking great like they normally are. If they could get to an AFC title game, if they could get there, I don't see why they can't win a game. I don't see why they can't win that game. I'm talking
Look.
crazy.
I think, man. I mean, look. If I had to put my money on it in that situation, obviously I wouldn't go Jags. But would I be surprised? Yeah, I probably would be
You
surprised if
would?
they
I
came
would
out on
not.
if they
I
came
would
out on
not.
a win. I would be surprised just because but I still have them as contenders. The reason why is because I understand football. I understand the National Football League and what it encompasses. So that's the reason. Like they have a team that is capable of of being a team like the Bengals were the year that they lost to the Rams inside of the Super Bowl to make it to the big dance. And they got all of the ingredients to showing that they have that opportunity. So I'm feeling it. And what's that next topic?
Yeah, let me get it for us real quick.
Because you got us you in control of our time today. Well,
Yeah,
until as
we
soon
can
as I get
we
this
can go a
computer
little
on.
slow if it's just us two. So I'm not. I got it. I'm paying attention to it. If I feel like if I feel like we got to speed up, I'll do that.
No, I got some people coming on,
Okay.
so like at some. So hopefully. So
Okay.
that's the only reason why I was when the time
7 weeks
constraints.
of tape. Who are the New Orleans Saints?
Kick us
I'll start
off.
off. Yeah, I'll kick this one off. It's tough because I have them winning the NFC South, but the more and more I watch them, I'm disappointed. Their offense last night was dump off to Alvin Kamara, dump off to Alvin Kamara, dump off to Alvin Kamara, dump off to Alvin Kamara some more. Derek Carr couldn't hit a throw to save his life in the first half. Um, they got a good defense. They're always gonna play you tough. They're never gonna be a free win. That's always gonna be a team where you have to play 4 quarters against. But man, watching them, it's not. I'm not thrilled. I'm not like I expected more out of the Saints. I expected a lot more.
You had the
I
Saints
had them going to the NFC title game possibly. I had them as my 2 seed.
you had the
I just
Saints
thought
doing
that
some
defense combined
real
with Derek Carr was gonna really do something
you had
this
the
year.
Saints doing some really good things,
I
man. You had
did.
the Saints doing some really good things. I want to say you predicted them to win the division.
Predicted them to
Correct
win
me
the
if I'm
division
wrong.
and get the 2 seed. I predicted them to have the 2 seed in the NFC.
Oh, to have the 2 seed in the NFC. That's correct. I mean, they're 3-4. Like, and it's not like that question is not out there to sort of like poop on the Saints. It's just more so to just highlight like who are the Saints? Like just a general question
I don't
because
even think
they
they
play.
knew. I don't even think they knew who they were until they got Alvin Kamara back. I mean, they
I
were throwing
mean, the
checkdowns to
fact
him
that
every play
the
last year.
fact that the fact that Alvin Kamara has more receptions
Yeah,
than any running back in the National Football League
and missed 3 weeks. Yeah,
and missed the first 3 weeks
it
is
says a lot about the Saints,
absolutely
and I don't know if that's
insane.
good. I don't know if that's a good thing.
I
I
mean, he is Alvin Kamara, so I got to give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of like, man, this dude is big time. He's needed. Like he is everything that he's showcasing right now. And so to not have that kind of weapon on your team is similar to not like having like a Christian McCaffrey. List goes on and on. And as far as that goes, no Jamar Chase, no. So it's just like I think it's a good thing that
What
he's
up,
back and
Anthony?
healthy,
Welcome back.
and I,
Welcome back.
and I think he can actually make a run. And so make sure, hey, Anthony and I forget my other dude name that's
Mazda.
in the
Mazda.
Mars Dogs, my guy. Man, get some
Guys,
get
yeah,
some get
welcome back.
get some get some of those takes going inside the chat, man. What y'all think about what we talking about, man, as we move on in the show?
Yep, we got the NBA season opener. We got the Lakers and the Nuggets. You could start this one off. Um, who you got and why? We got to do our predictions. The games start on Tuesday. We will have a Tuesday show, but um, it'll probably be going. The games will probably be going on by the time we get to speak about them. So, what do you see here? This is probably the game of the year. I feel like this is the game of the year in Game One. I don't think I'm more excited to watch any other basketball game other than
Ah,
Lakers Nuggets.
stop. Don't say game. What do you mean game of the year? What do you mean by that
What I
exactly?
mean by that is I think this is the best matchup you could ask for.
Oh, I mean, the NBA always does this though. They always
They
give
always start off on a
like
bang, yeah.
yeah, they always give the two games on a Tuesday of really
Like
good teams.
these teams could really be the uh, um the Western Conference Finals. It was last year.
Absolutely. Oh wait, these teams were the Western Conference Finals last year, huh?
Yeah. Come on, how you
Oh
don't know that?
wow.
Come on, basketball analyst.
No, no, no. Oh, you said Western Conference Finals. Western Conference semi. Oh yeah,
No,
good.
they were in the Western Conference Finals. They got swept. The Lakers got swept.
Lakers versus. Oh, you talking about Lakers in Denver was in the Western Conference Finals. Oh, okay, absolutely. I thought
What
you were
did you
saying
think I was
all these.
talking about?
I was saying these four teams that are playing each other were all like in the West, like were the
No,
last
no,
four
no.
standing in the.
We're on Lakers Nuggets right now.
Oh, absolutely. And no, I look, I think this game is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I think what you said was as far as them, this being like a game of the year. I understand what you're getting at, but it's going to be a lot of these kind of intriguing matchups as the season goes on.
Of course. But in my opinion, as a fan of the game, this is the one I'm most excited for. Lakers,
Yeah.
because I had them 1-2 in my power rankings. I had Lakers, Nuggets, to start the season, going into the season. If you remember, as the 1 and 2
Mm-hmm.
seed. So like this is the matchup I'm looking forward to the most because I know the Lakers want to make a statement. They got a new roster. They got swept by them last year. They made changes to try to like kind of equalize with them or get on their type of level. This is a big
Mm-hmm.
game. This is a big game for the Lakers. They want to win this one. They got swept last year. They got embarrassed.
I
LeBron got
agree.
embarrassed. So this is a big game. This is the one I'm most excited for. I'm not going to sit here and say it's the biggest because obviously teams will come out of nowhere. Teams with good records will play another good team with a better record. Obviously, this isn't going to be the team matchup of the season, but I'm saying this is definitely the matchup, at least in the first month of the season, that I can't wait for.
And I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. I'm um I'm especially excited for this matchup because because it's a real game. It counts against the record. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I want to see the rotation that the Lakers go out there with. They got so many complementary pieces that I mean, I know for the course of an 82 game season, you're going to be able to get a lot of these guys in. They probably going to be on like an 11-man rotation, honestly, because they got so many complementary guys on the team. But I guess as the season go on, what I'm looking forward to with these Lakers is definitely seeing how they, especially near playoffs, how they narrow down to what 8, 9 players that they're going to play, in the postseason. So that's going to be really interesting. But just to see those like 11 guys come out there and contribute, like, I mean, they got so many names. The one name in specific, though, that I'm looking forward to is Jackson Hayes, the center that they picked up from the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm telling you, with LeBron James, like this could be something. This could be something with D'Angelo Russell. Like that alley oop connection could be something. His energy, his effort, his activity on the court Jackson Hayes was a sneaky, really good pickup for this team. So I'm looking forward.
Everybody they picked up is going to play a huge piece this year.
Gabe Vincent. I just can't wait to see what Gabe Vincent does. He just absolutely destroyed for the Miami Heat last year. And so I'm looking forward to Gabe Vincent. Looking forward to D'Lo after having an off season. He came up short in the postseason with his inconsistent play. Not even inconsistent. He just played porous. After the first series, he had a pretty decent first round series against Memphis.
But after Wood that, coming off the bench too,
he was pretty porous. But again, like you said, you bring in Christian Wood, who's a catch and shoot guy, high activity guy, high athletic guy.
Had a really good year. I'm expecting some of the same.
Rui is back, and then you got White Boy Assassin is back. What's my boy name? Love him. Austin Reeves. I mean, it's like you got so many guys who can actually step up and put up big numbers.
You got Cam Reddish, a former first-round draft pick. So
I don't know. I got to see how Cam Reddish shake out.
I know, but the talent, we not gonna.
The talent is there. Yeah. The talent is there, but with Cam, to see it not formalized yet is discouraging. I'm looking at guys.
One thing if we're talking about GOAT status, what does LeBron do? LeBron makes everybody around him better. So
yeah,
that's
true.
So he's gonna make the Cam Reddishes of the world look a little bit better than they really are. So you got to be a little excited for it that he's gonna be able to play with somebody on that type of talent level.
I give you that. I give you that.
He's gonna give Cam Reddish. It's gonna be fun. I'm waiting.
I give you that. And it's truth to that. And so we'll see. And so I was just specifically talking about guys who I know for a fact is going to contribute because I've seen them contribute on teams before. And so, guys like Gabe Vincent, guys like Jackson Hayes, guys like Christian Wood, guys like D'Angelo Russell, guys like Austin Reeves. I think who are the X factors outside of the X factors on that team?
I think it's Christian Wood. I think it's Christian Wood and Hachimura. I think if Christian Wood has a good season, because think about it, he's coming off the bench for AD. They're not asking him to do all that. If he comes out and plays like a starter off the bench, if he puts up those numbers that we're looking for, I think because he's probably going to be playing with Hachimura as well. Or are they going to start Hachimura? No, right? Probably not. D'Lo Reeves. Oh, they might.
It's a good question.
They might.
It's a good question.
There's room for him. There is room for him. I just don't know if they're going to go a different route.
There's a chance that he starts. Absolutely a chance that he starts.
Because we got to get to the other game. So predictions.
Yeah, let's do it.
I got Denver. I think. I'm sorry. I got the Lakers. I think Denver with the celebration of the rings. It's just going to be a little distraction for them. They're not. I know they want to win the game, but that's going to be more a celebratory thing for them. The Lakers are coming into the season for they want to win that game one so bad. Now I'm not saying Denver ain't going to beat them later in the year when they play again. I think Denver's got probably a little bit better of a team, but I just think the situation. I think there's a letdown. I think Denver comes into the season celebrating their chip. Fans are hyped. Everybody. I think it's a letdown. I think they throw out a letdown. I think the Lakers win, and I think they win by 10 plus.
I'm going to disagree because it's all up to the others. For whatever reason, LeBron always comes out start of the season on just chill, passive, kind of like observing, getting the feel for the season, getting the feel for his guys, his additions, his players that's come back. Like he always has this sort of like nonchalant performances early on in the season, especially in the first game. So book bag Braun is not activated in first games of NBA seasons. And so therefore I get a little nervous about the outcome. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Denver. But again, if guys like Austin Reed, Gabe Vincent, D'Angelo Russell, Rui, Christian Wood, like surprisingly steps up and be the reason the Lakers win this game, because I know LeBron is gonna, kind of have his foot off the gas. If those guys step up and LeBron is just on chill and they win, oh nah, look out for this Lakers team.
All right.
Look out for this Lakers
Game
team.
2.
I'm going with Denver.
Next Tuesday, we got Suns, Phoenix at the Warriors.
This is a beautiful game. I mean, I cannot wait to watch this game. But kick us off.
I don't think it's gonna be as good of a game as people think. I think the Suns kind of run away with this one. I just don't think that. I love Steph Curry.
I disagree.
I
Maybe,
know.
I mean,
I know. How can I say
we'll
that when you got Steph Curry on the other side, right? But the Suns got the Warriors got worse, man. I'm not a fan of the Chris Paul move. I don't like their bench. Steph might have to score 50 in this game to win. The only chance I'll give them is because it's in Oracle. It's hard to beat that team at home, especially a season opener. I just think the Suns the Suns are just loaded. Those three guys are loaded, and I said this. I said they're going to be a very good regular season basketball team. So I got them in game 1. I have a feeling this game isn't going to be as good as people think. This one might be a blowout. I got Lakers winning by 10, maybe late in the fourth quarter. I think it's close for a majority game, and then they pull away at the end. I think this one might be a blowout from the start, from the first quarter. I know. I'm just saying that without any context. I just think the Suns are just gonna score at will, and I think the Warriors will. But like outside of Steph, I don't see them. I don't see them. They don't got Jordan Poole no more. Like, I don't see them scoring. I don't see outside of Steph this year. I really think the Warriors are gonna struggle scoring the basketball. I don't think Phoenix is gonna have to do much. You're on mute, and it's on you.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm gonna help you out on this. I'm gonna help you out a little bit on this. On this one, Mars Dogs and what's my Brody name in the chat?
Anthony.
Mars Dogs and Anthony. Who do y'all got in this matchup, and what do y'all think about this Golden State team this year? I'm asking y'all because this show is your show. Really, we're just hosts, and we really want to know what the people think. That's why we looking forward to you joining the Discord one day and getting on the show live with us. But I want to know what you think about this Golden State team while I sit here and school Gator a little bit about this Golden State team and this Chris Paul edition. Just giving you some basketball IQ, giving you some, from me to you for free. This Chris Paul edition is not one to mess with. It's not one to overlook. It's not one to play around with. It is this addition for this team is going to be huge. When you take the ball out of, or like LeBron, Chris Paul, like LeBron, is just as good as LeBron in making players around him better. And when you talk about, role players for Golden State Warriors that were supposed to had already been playing at a level that we, thought they would. And I forget the two name guys that I'm thinking about that's in my head in particular, which sucks because I always put the pressure on the under big dogs community to come to these live sports conversations ready, with their homework done, ready to bring names into the equation, etc. So forgive me for not remembering the names, but there are two young studs on this Golden State Warriors team that I believe Chris Paul is going to bring the best out of. Not that they're bad, but they're good. But I think Chris Paul is going to make that excel even more with those guys in particular. Steph is Steph. We know who he is. Draymond is Draymond. We know who he is. Clay is Clay. We know who he is. Kevon Looney is Kevon Looney. We know who he is. So these guys got everything they need. I just think without CP, of course they still got Andrew Wiggins. Don't let me forget that. You know,
I'm
two-way
not a
player,
fan.
one of the best two-way players in the
Not a
NBA.
fan.
First of all, what he was literally the reason for their championship run just a couple years ago. So I'm just gonna let you not understand the type of
I
player
think
Andrew
Jordan
Wiggins
Poole was
is.
a big part of that, but
I mean, Jordan Poole was kind of quiet in that finals though. But I mean, it was because Steph was loud, but Jordan Poole wasn't doing what he was doing in the semis and finals that he was in the first 2 rounds that year. So I just the two-way play that Andrew Wiggins is it's not shortchanged at all. He's a top five
he is
two-way.
a good defensive
He's a
player.
top five. He's a top five two-way player. Top five two-way player. Like as far as what he gives offensively and defensively in the NBA. And so you got that, but most importantly, I think without CP, these guys would have been absolutely amazing still. But when you add CP to a guy like, because Steph doesn't need it, but to a guy like Clay, when you add a CP to a guy like Andrew Wiggins, to the other two young players that they have that comes off the bench that I can't remember their names. When you add a CP to a guys who struggle getting their own shots, and not that Clay necessarily should, he finds his opportunities within the offense, but CP3 is going to make that thing a lot easier. I'm telling you. And so it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. CP3 is not even going to have to score often. It's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. In this game, because the because the Warriors have been together longer than this Phoenix bunch, that Phoenix roster, when you think about it, is brand new. I think, especially like you said at Oracle, that they hold true. And even if it's a close game, they might lose or win, but I can't predict a blowout for Phoenix coming in and just straight
I
waxing them
got
like you just
both
did. That was
away teams.
insane.
I got both
That
away
was
teams.
yeah, but you
While we
choosing
move
Phoenix,
on,
to just straight blow Golden State out, brand new roster, a roster that's been together for years to just get blown out by a brand new
they
roster. I
can
can't see
get
that
blown
happening
out. They can get
on,
blown out.
on their own home
I've
floor. I
seen
can't
them.
see that
I've
happening.
seen it happen. I've seen
I'm
it
just saying,
happen.
in a situation like this one, first game of the year, adrenaline is up, everything is rised. They're going to rise to the occasion and step up in these circumstances. And I'm going to predict the win, but if they do lose, it's going to be tight. But I just want to close by saying those guys, the type of offense that Golden State runs, 5 out, a lot of cutting, a lot of slipping screens, a lot of fake screens, a lot of real screens, a lot of ball screens, off ball screens, no bigs in the paint. Devin Booker, KD, and Bradley Beal going to be out there having to work defensively. This is what I'm saying. So I just want to see how they hold up defensively and how that affects their legs on the offensive end. I'm looking forward to seeing that specifically.
You
And
got
so
the
I got
over.
Golden
So you
State.
got the over in that game. No. All right.
I'm saying, yeah, go ahead.
How about them other
Cowboys?
other other
Wait,
Texas
not the
team?
Cowboys. The
Texas
other
team.
Texas team?
The other Texas
Not the
team.
Cowboys.
Not the
Oh,
Cowboys.
how about them Texans?
Yes.
Wow.
Is the
What's
future
going on
bright?
then?
Is the future bright for those Texans? I started off the
Man,
predictions.
kick us off. Kick us off because I
I
got a lot
started
to say
off
with
the
this.
predictions. All right.
Oh, you saying you want me
I'm
to
just
start it
joking.
off?
I'm just joking. It's not. I got
Oh,
you.
okay. I
got
got
it.
a lot to say. I got a lot to say.
The Texans' future is very bright. I need to look into their defense a little bit because apparently they've been playing stingy. So I gotta do some research. I gotta do some tape. I gotta do some tape watching on the Texas defense. But that offense, when we look at how well these dudes are performing, and not only that, how young that team is. Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Damian Pierce, CJ Stroud, Dalton Schultz is an underrated tight end. Had really good years with Dallas, very good years. And I'm pretty sure he's only like a season or two in. He's only like 2 or 3 seasons in, right?
No. He's up there a little bit in age. He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s. He's in his 20s, but I think late 20s. I think.
This is his. He's 27.
How old is he?
He's 27. He's 27. So
oh, okay.
He's old, but
not old.
Like
that's good.
Outside
especially
of Dalton Schultz, everybody else, the rest of their offense is under 27. Besides Robert Woods, so they're not only are they good right now, they're only going to get better, and they're only going to get better, and they're not even they don't even have they're not going to be in their prime yet. Like these young receivers that they got are only going to get better. Their offense is only going to get better. I'm sure they're going to add better O-line around C.J. Stroud. Damian Pierce is a formidable running back. We saw it last year. Give him a good offensive line and a pass game. He should be wearing teams down in the third and fourth quarter. This little dude has big strength. I think the future is very bright for this. I would not be surprised if they make the play. I would not be surprised if they made a run in that AFC South. I know we got Jacksonville over there. I can't. I need to see Texans and Jacksonville play right now because I need to see it. I need to see it because I really believe the Texans can make a run.
What are you seeing from this Texans team that got you believing in them so much, though?
The offense what?
CJ
Stroud is really getting these young receivers the ball. Like Nico Collins wasn't like that last year. Like that just gotta mean CJ Stroud is him. Like it had like that offense was so bad last year. They got the number 2 overall pick. Like. And I know that DeMeco Ryans great defensive corner, so DeMeco Ryans might just have that defense looking good. DeMeco Ryans, they got a good coaching staff too. They might have an overrated defense, but DeMeco Ryans got those boys playing better than they actually are. You know what I mean? I don't think they really got much studs over there, but if you play into DeMeco Ryans' system, you saw what that Niner defense did last year. I mean, they got superstars on that team, but DeMeco Ryans had that defense looking stout. They always gonna look stout, but I love it. I think they got a really good offense, and I think their defense is overperforming because of DeMeco Ryans, and I don't see that stopping. They're gonna win games. Do not ever bet against the Texans, please. That's good because they're gonna be in every game. I remember week 1, they gave Lamar Jackson a little bit of trouble in that first half, and I thought it was the Ravens that were just overrated like always. But nah, I think the Texans were always there. Just took them a few weeks to get a taste of victory. And I think they're 3-1 since, I think they started 0-2, and I think they're 3-1 since that. So, and they got a chance to, they're playing, they have a bye this week, so they get a full week to get even better.
I mean, let's start from the beginning with these Texans. I mean, the Houston Texans literally have nothing to hang their hat on in terms of
Deshaun Watson's one.
In terms of the history involved with that team. When you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, all-time franchise, just one of the greatest. New York Giants, one of the greatest franchise. San Francisco 49ers, your San Francisco 49ers, one of the greatest franchises. Baltimore Ravens, one of the greatest franchises. You got it's just teams, even the Cleveland Browns, believe it or not, for all of the, the younger viewers out there, prior to the Super Bowl era, were one of the dominant teams in the National Football League. And I know I'm forgetting of the New England Patriots history. So I say all that to say, man, like this team, nothing to hang their hat on in their history in terms of the Lombardi trophies and champions, nothing. And it was because of the organization, top down, everybody working in the offices on all. I'm not gonna say on all phases. You probably had some good work being done in the community, stuff like that. But in terms of the people that were involved heavily in making personnel choices, um, in certain office spaces and on the football field, have been doing absolutely horrible, horrible. Done their players horrible. And so, even Andre Johnson, one of their greatest, if not their greatest wide receiver that they've ever had there. And before DeAndre Hopkins showed up, they're probably neck and neck, if I'm being honest. But
they had a really good year with who was the quarterback when Andre Johnson was going off. They did have like a really good year with man. Who was their quarterback?
And I'm not even talking about like solid years. I'm like where they made a playoff run. I'm talking about they don't have a Super Bowl appearance on their belt. I want to say that they've never even been to the AFC championship game. And so
quick news, real quick. Quick news, I gotta interrupt for all the baseball fans out there. Houston just scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th to take a 5-4 lead against the Rangers. Unreal.
What game is that?
ALCS, it's tied 2-2.
No, I'm saying what game? Oh, 2-2, game 5?
Game 5. They were down 2 runs in the top of
That's
the 9th.
best out of 7, right?
Yeah, 2 runs. They were down 2-0 in the series. This is the World Series chance from last year, everybody. Houston Astros won the World Series last year. They were down 2-0 to the Texas Rangers in the series. Won 2 games on the road. This is the 3rd road game. Down 2 runs in the top of the 9th. Took a 5-4 lead and looks like they're about to take a 3-2 lead in the series. Unbelievable. Houston trying to they got a lot of proving to do after that cheating scandal. So
Houston, stand up. Houston, stand up.
We're talking about them. We're talking about Houston, the city of Houston right now. Like
Houston, stand up. And my fiance would hate me saying this, but Houston is a beautiful city. Houston is he would hate me saying that. He would hate me saying that for other reasons. But I'm just genuinely saying that Houston is a beautiful city. She might think I'm talking about other things. I'm obviously not. You're the only one, the apple of my eye. But Houston is a beautiful city, man. If any single men want to try to find you a lady, Houston is a beautiful city, man. And so Houston, stand up right now. Houston Astros looking to go back to back, and we're talking about these Houston Texans. Oh, yeah, I'll close my point about the Houston Texans.
Yeah, good.
Real quick. What I'm just saying is, even the ex-wide receiver Andre Johnson, one of the best wide receivers in their franchise history, even said, like, man, that Houston organization be moving a little funny. Like when things were going on with Deshaun Watson, Andre Johnson took Deshaun Watson's back for reasons that I can't even disclose. I have no idea. Like only he knows what happens over there. Andre Johnson does organizationally, and so. When you look at that, when you look at the way that
Matt Schaub was their quarterback, I was trying.
Matt Schaub. When you look at the way that Arian Foster was a running back. When you look at the way that they handled the DeAndre Hopkins trade, like this organization just doesn't make great decisions. And then you talk about the hire, D'Amico Ryans, right? The D'Amico Ryans hire. They darn near had a parade for this dude. D'Amico Ryans, defensive coordinator last year for the 49ers, who were atop the NFL and defensive rankings. This guy had those 49ers running wild last year. Hire him. He's an ex-Houston Texans player. They had a parade for this dude. Like the whole front office
Battle of Texas
had a parade for this dude when he came, and I'm just sitting there looking at like they never did that for any head coaching hire in the past. They really must believe in this dude, and they really must be relinquishing all decisions, most decisions, personnel decisions, especially to this dude, D'Amico Ryans. Like, so I'm like, okay, like I started to buy into D'Amico Ryans, started to look at his coaching tree and see where he came from and the defensive minds that helped fine-tune his defensive minds. And so I believe in D'Amico Ryans as a head coach. Then you look at the personnel decisions that he's made so far. First of all, you already had Stingley there from a previous draft pick, but that plays right into his coaching style. And then he goes out, draft Bama's Will Anderson, who is an absolute freaking stud, day one stud already. And so that was like just understanding what he's doing with that defense, seeing how they're playing defensively. And then when you consider the fact that they made a draft pick in CJ Stroud that is proven to be the right draft pick, like you got to understand, he brought the a coordinator, offensive guy from the 49ers over with them to Houston Texans. I want to say he wasn't the lead offensive coordinator of the 49ers, but I think he was like
no one's really the lead on Kyle Shanahan's team.
I think he was like the, coach quarterback or whatever, working with the offense in whatever role. He brought him over and made him the offensive coordinator. So they got things going on over there offensively and defensively that I'm buying into. They got the quarterback, as we can see now. Things are definitely looking up, and I'm looking forward to it looking up because I love the city of Houston. And they deserve a really good football team.
Yeah, I cannot wait to watch CJ Stroud over the years because I was really high on him coming into the draft class. I thought he was the best I thought he was the best quarterback or the NFL ready quarterback coming into the class. We had multiple.
You called that.
About that, yeah. So
you definitely called that.
We can move on. I got this baseball game in the background. Bottom of the second.
I got you.
Bottom of the second, 2 outs, runner on first and second. Texas trying to make a run, but we got next topic.
Game of the week, baby.
Game of the
week
is
right.
It
is going to be a good one.
We got
Dolphins,
Eagles.
Woo!
Apparently, I did not make a thing for this. I will fix that, but it is we are talking about Dolphins and Eagles. While I fix that real quick,
on a game of the week.
It'll be up there in a sec. What do you got? You start off on this one. What do you see? I don't even know where to begin. Start off with the Dolphins and that offense.
Listen, I'm looking at it. I'm not even going to. I'm just who to trust. Not who to trust. Who can I trust more in this matchup? Hurts or Tua? Who do I trust more in this matchup? Who do I trust more in this matchup? Eagles offense against the Dolphins defense? Dolphins offense against the Eagles defense? I mean, this is a head twister. Dolphins at Eagles, and we will have that up in a second, and so that you know who we're talking about. And it is up. It's up, officially up. Beautiful. So Dolphins at Eagles, man. I mean, I don't know who to trust more. I really, really don't. And so you got dudes on the Eagles who are riddled with injuries. And then going up against offense, the best offense in the National Football League. Best offense, one of the best offenses we've seen in a very, very long time. Very innovative. They're going to get obliterated. But then when you look at the other side of the field, you can't stop this Eagles run game. They can't match their physicality. If Eagles wanted to play the time of possession game against this Dolphins defense, they had that at their leisure. And I think they do that. I think they said, let's keep the ball out of the Dolphins' hands as much and as often as possible. And they have the personnel to do that. They have the personnel to run for only 5 yards, 4 yards, first down. 5-yard run, 4-yard run, first down. Slow, methodical drives all game long. Keep the ball out of Tua in this insane offense, insane speed. They got 3 guys the Dolphins doing offense. The 3 highest clocked speeds this year in a national football game, all 3 players are on the Miami Dolphins. The speed is ridiculous. And so you got to keep the ball out these guys' hands as often as possible, especially when your defense is hampered like the Eagles are. And so I think they got the offense to do that, and I think they are going to do that. And so I'm gonna take the Eagles in this matchup. I'm going to go out there, take on the limb, take the Eagles in this matchup, but I'm very nervous for that prediction. I would obviously not be surprised if it goes the other way, but I'm taking the Eagles just because I feel as though they have the personnel to sustain methodical drives, slow drives, keep the ball out of the Dolphins' hands, and the very few times that the Dolphins do have possession, to be able to mix things up enough to, stop them on, key possessions, on certain possessions, make Tua see some things he hasn't seen yet this season, present Tua with some problems that exposes a little bit of his weaknesses, some of his weaknesses. So this is very, but this could get out of hand real quick if the Eagles aren't able to control the ball. This could get out of hand real quick. Gator.
And I think that's how it's going to play out. I think the Dolphins are going to score so fast, and the Eagles in this game are just not good because of the offensive struggles that the Eagles have been having. I think it continues against Miami, and I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up. I think it's going to get ugly very quick. I'm not liking what I'm seeing from the Eagles this year. The games they're winning they just don't look like that Philly team from last year, and that could just be injuries. It really could just be injuries. But
I love what I'm seeing from their run game.
Love it. Their run game, but their run game is always going to be good because of that offensive line.
And Dolphins can't do nothing about that.
They can if they go up. They can if they go up.
Mm-hmm.
If they could take the run game out of the game, literally, and like if they're literally go up 14-0, 17-0, and Jalen Hurts has to sit back there and make plays by himself, I think it could get ugly. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, they might go up to number 2 in my power rankings if after this week, maybe number 1. I think they had a letdown at Buffalo. I think they're better than Buffalo. I think they're going to get the best of Buffalo in the second matchup that they play in Miami. I think that team is the best team in the AFC. I personally don't see any team stopping them. And how fun would a 49ers Dolphins Super Bowl be with Kyle Shanahan and his versus his prodigy? That would be an interesting Super Bowl, but they're my AFC favorites going into it now. I'm not gonna change my prediction. I still got the Bengals going to the Super Bowl, but what I'm seeing from Miami, it would not surprise me if they win the AFC. I just think they're so far the best team I've seen. I don't who's stopping that offense. They're gonna score 30 this week. Right? They're gonna score 30. That secondary is rough. I can't see Philly scoring more than that. I just can't. That'd be good for my Niners too, so that might be a little biased. But I got the Dolphins.
Okay.
We're doing pretty good on time right here, so let's move.
No, we're fine. We're fine. I mean, I want to continue to elaborate on the topic.
Minutes. Yeah, we got a few minutes on this topic.
Yeah. I want to elaborate on the topic. Let me ask you this then: who do you trust more in this matchup, Tua or Hurts?
No question.
Why?
Because of the weapons around Tua and how Tua is playing, and he beat him in college. So, that's another interesting aspect of this. It's Tua versus Jalen Hurts, Bama versus Bama. Tua, Jalen Hurts benched benched by Tua, so that is going to be a fun little storyline as well. This is probably the best game of the season so far. It was supposed to be Dallas and Niners, but that didn't turn out. We saw what happened there. We knew Dallas were frauds. This is the best game of the NFL season so far on Sunday Night Football. Can't get any better than that. Who do you trust more?
I trust Jalen Hurts more, 100%. Like, he's a winner. He don't care about stats. This is one guy at the quarterback position in the National Football League that do not care about stats. He just cares about winning. And don't be surprised if you see the Eagles go run heavy. Why? I'm telling you, if they do it from jump, like it has to be from from possession. Number one, if I was the Eagles, I would even if I won the coin toss, I would even take the ball first
I
because
would
it has
too.
to be from.
I would too. They need
It,
to score. They need to score first.
it's not even about the fact that
No,
they
they
need to score
do.
first.
They do.
And
They
that's
do.
your take, and I want to hear that's your take, and I want to hear why. But before we hear why
Okay.
the Eagles need to score first from your end of the spectrum, I just feel as though the Eagles need the ball first, um, because they need to show the Miami Dolphins on the first possession what we are going to do, and we know that you do not have the personnel to stop this. Miami Dolphins, trust me when I tell you, do not have the personnel to stop the Eagles' run game. I'm beating that in the head because when you think about the Eagles' struggles this year, even though they're 5-1, just in terms of why games were close, etc. A lot of teams that they played, they had some stout, run deep. They've come across some pretty good run defenses. They just have. And so when you now come across a run defense that is omnipresent, you're now in a situation where you get to show the league when all the eyes are on these Miami Dolphins, the darlings of the NFL right now. Yeah, like I just know the vibe right now because the vibe around these Miami Dolphins, like I could just sense it. It's Super Bowl is kind of like Super Bowl appearance is kind of like written all over this Miami attack right now, and you have an opportunity as the Eagles to make everybody feel a little bit less about what they're seeing from these Miami Dolphins right now. And I think you do that by establishing the run game and showing the league that this team, if you have the offensive line, if you have the personnel, they cannot stop the run, period. And I think the Eagles show that, and they should show that from possession one.
I think they got to start quick because they got to show that they can go toe to toe with them. If they get the ball first, don't score, and then Miami comes down and scores right away, it could get ugly very quickly. They're gonna have to. The offense is gonna have to go. This is gonna have to be a track meet, in my opinion. I don't think they're gonna be able to control the clock the way they want to. If they can, great. If they can, they win the game. You're right. If they control the clock like that, I just don't think they're going to be able to. And I think Miami's going to score so fast. They're going to move the ball down the field so fast that Jalen Hurts going to be on the field a lot, and they're going to have to kind of match up with them. So I think it's important they score first so they can control the clock. If they score first, a nice, long, lengthy drive, and they score, great. That's the best case scenario. But I think if they go 3-and-out, they get a first down and punt, and Miami comes down and scores a touchdown. Now you have to play their style of game. Now you have to match that. It's literally win by 2 at that point. Like, we have to match that. Because if we don't, they can put up points very, very quickly. That could turn into 14, 17, 21, nothing very, very fast. So that's what I'm thinking there. And I can't wait. That Sunday night game is gonna be crazy.
Amen to that. Moving on along, baby. We have edition. The big dogs, quick takes coming at you, hot and fast. Pause for all my pause people out there in the world. Um, 7, Penn State at number 3, Ohio State. This Saturday, baby. That's gonna be a
12 o'clock
big
too,
time,
Eastern time. Wake
Big
up
Ten, Big
and
Ten
get ready for
matchup.
that.
Quick take on this matchup. What's your prediction and why? Look, you're the college football
I
aficionado.
love it. I love
So
college
so
football.
I leave these things up to you. And so I'm going to defer to you and let you have this quick take, and we're going to move on.
I've watched a little bit of Penn State and a lot of Ohio State. Ohio State not they might be undefeated. They don't surprise me though. They're not. The quarterback they got is probably one of the worst quarterbacks that Ohio State's had in a long time. If they had one of those guys this year, like if they still had C.J. Stroud or Justin Fields, they were 1,000,000% without a doubt winning the national title this year with that receiving core with Ibuka and Marvin Harrison Jr. Like no, like it wouldn't even be close because there's no good team in college football this year. There's no dominant like, oh my god, this team is going to win the title. Like Michigan might win it this year. Like Michigan might have the best team in college football, and that's not saying much because they've they've never been the best team in college football. Harbaugh's always been trying to just beat Ohio State, let alone win a national title, win a playoff game first before even getting to the national title. So it really might be like that this year, like where these teams are not like there's no like instant favorite this year. Like it's really close up there. Like Georgia's doesn't even look good. So however, I know the quarterback is bad for Ohio State. However, I don't like Penn State at all. They haven't played anybody. They can only run the football, which is not good against Ohio State. Is going to shut that down. You're going to need to go over the top on Ohio State to beat them. And they don't have that. So I'm expecting a blowout. I think Ohio State's defense is the best in the country. And I really don't think Penn State is going to move the ball at all.
Ohio State defense is really the best in the nation right now?
They are stacked. I don't know that stat for sure, but I know for a fact they're top 5. I'm pretty sure they're number 1.
Wow, they looking that good right now defensively?
Yeah, they're the only reason they're winning games because their offense
wow.
is mid. Their offense is mid.
Wow.
Their quarterback is mid as hell. Kyle McCord kid, he's mid as hell. And Penn State has a really good defense as well, but they haven't played anybody. Anybody ranked. Penn State played Iowa, and that was it. And Iowa's a bad team this year. Like Iowa's a really bad school this year. Penn State literally has not played anybody. They played West Virginia, Delaware, Illinois, Iowa, Northwestern, and Massachusetts. They haven't played anybody. Mm-hmm. Their run game is good. Their defense is good. I don't like their wide receivers. I don't like their quarterback, and that is trouble against Ohio State. Ohio State is real. This might be low scoring, but I still expect a blowout because I still expect Ohio State to eventually score. I'm just gonna say like 21-3. I don't know if Penn State scores more than 3 points in this game. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna take the under, but Ohio State wins like maybe 28-7, 28-10, something like that.
Wow. You see how excited he get on the Big Dog Nation? Talking about college football. I mean, this is a college football aficionado, man. I leave it all up to him. Thank you for that take on that, Gate. I just didn't know. I'm super proud of him because you really can't normally associate a great, top of the nation defense with Ohio State. So I'm proud of them for that. I didn't know that they was moving like that on the defensive end.
They're second.
Are you second?
Oh no, that's Penn State.
Under Big Dog Nation, are you second guessing your love for Love on the Big Dog Nation? Are you second guessing your love for Jordan Love? Look, I am, Gator. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I told you he was.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm second guessing my love for Love, man. I'm second guessing my love for Love.
Him.
He started off the season looking good. He started off the season looking like how CJ Stroud looking right now. Like he definitely did start the season off like that.
Before you finish your take, let's be real about his situation though. He doesn't have a running game because Aaron Jones is out. Do we think Christian Watson is a number 1 receiver? Like, are we like really saying this dude is
absolutely not?
Yeah, absolutely not. His situation is horrible. But go ahead.
See, I wouldn't go that far though.
I think it's horrible. I think they got the worst receiving core in the NFL. Honestly,
I wouldn't go that far.
I think
when you got Jaden Reed, I love the kid Jaden Reed. I love Romeo Doubs. I love Christian Watson. I love those. I love those receivers. Are any of them number 1s? No. Can Christian Wood be a number 2? Yes, he absolutely could. He has that ability. He has that in his talent to be a 2. Put him on the Chiefs in the Andy Reid system. See what you get. You got Romeo Doubs. I think he could be a 2. And then Jaden Reed is gonna start to show who he is as a player in this National Football League. Probably not this. He's gonna have Jaden Reed's gonna have highlights this year, but I mean, until he becomes like consistently formidable, I think that's approaching really quickly as well, and like maybe his third year by his third year. So I love his setup. And then you got Luke Musgrave, his tight end, who's very, very talented. I love his setup. And then you got AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones in the backfield.
I don't.
I love his setup. I feel as though it's more him than his setup. I'm starting to see
a little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm starting to see his lapses. And not that he can't be a starter in this league, and I'm sure he's going to be a starter for these dudes for some time, but they got to be realistic really quick and get some, like you said, some Jamar Chases, A.J. Browns, Devontae Smiths of the world, Cooper Kupps type talent around this kid. They better be realistic real quick. This ain't Aaron Rodgers situation where you can keep, overlooking talented wide receivers in the NFL draft because you know what you got at the quarterback position. And you know that he going to make something with nothing. He going to make things twerk with nothing. This ain't one of those kind of situations now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better get behind this kid if you really want to be all in with this kid. Get behind this kid like the way the Eagles got behind Jalen Hurts. Get behind this kid like the way the Bengals got behind Joe Burrow. You better not play around. Get behind this kid like the Dolphins got behind Tua Tagovailoa. You cannot play around with this. Because if you do the same things you was doing to Aaron Rodgers, where you was overlooking, not overlooking, just wasn't drafting talented wide receivers to put around Aaron Rodgers because you knew what you had at the quarterback position. So you wanted to help, fill the voids in other positions and other, aspects of the game. Play that game if you want to with this kid, and you're going to be highly disappointed. Leave it there.
Yeah, I like it. So I'll just leave it at that. That's a quick.
Can the Chargers take down the Chiefs? Are the Chiefs upset?
Yeah, because they haven't looked good. The Chiefs can lose every game they play this year. I don't think I'm sitting here like confident they're gonna win every game they play. Like they could play Denver, and I'm feeling weird. Like they looked bad against Denver offensively the other. Like if whatchamacallit had any type of offense, if Denver had any type of offense, it's a close game. So like if they're struggling to beat Denver, I think the Chiefs could lose any game, and I think the Chargers offensively can put up points against this team, and I think the Chiefs are gonna have to match that, and their offense hasn't looked so hot. So, I definitely think they're on upset alert. I'm gonna still probably take the Chiefs, but they could lose. They could definitely lose that game. I would not be surprised. It's a division rivalry. The Chargers always play them tough, even back when they had, when the Chargers had what's his face? Who was the quarterback in the Chargers forever? Philip Rivers. Philip Rivers always played that team tough, like always, even when Patrick Mahomes was around. I'm pretty sure Philip Rivers upset them a few times. So, yeah, they could beat them.
I agree with you, Gator. Giving me upset alert vibes with this matchup, dog. Yeah, I'm getting upset alert vibes with this matchup.
I got myself talking myself into taking Chargers when we do the picks later. We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
Woo! This is upset alert written all over it. And so that's what I'm gonna go with. I definitely see it happening. I'm just letting y'all know right now. That later when we do predictions for the week, that is going to be my pick that I make. Look, I'm a fan of making bold predictions, man. And so this is my bold prediction this week. And it's going to be the Chargers. I see it happening. Moving on along for our last quick take. Lions take on the Ravens in Baltimore, Gator. If the Dolphins and Eagles wasn't playing, I mean, this is like if the Dolphins Eagles are 1A game of the week.
Yeah,
this is like a preliminary, like a fight before the main fight.
Potential Super Bowl matchup, maybe. You never know.
That's funny. That was you didn't have to go that far. That was crazy. I mean, I was just saying it could
They're
be, but
both
I
gonna
was
be
just
in the
that
playoffs. They're both gonna be
I
in
ain't
the
even think of
playoffs.
that. They're definitely both going to be in the playoffs. But it's just like this is a great preliminary
We're gonna find out
matchup
a lot about both of these teams. That's what
because
I'll say.
because I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, that Eagles Miami game is a Sunday night game, right?
Yeah, this is a
So
4 o'clock game, I believe.
so no, it's 11 o'clock or 1 o'clock game.
Oh, 1 o'clock.
So
Well,
the
why did they put
Lions
that at
Ravens
4?
the Lions Ravens is a. I mean, think about the preliminary games that we have: Lions at Ravens, Chargers at Chiefs, and then Dolphins at
A
Eagles.
good
So
week.
Lions are the first team, to spark the day off with a great matchup against the Ravens at the Ravens. I don't know how to predict this one, Gator. I'm just going to roll the cards and look quarterbacks here because they both organizations are made up of the right stuff. They all have the moxie that you need to play in the NFL. They got the personnel that is willing to literally be concussed week in and week out so that they play the hardest that they possibly can play. And so all of the right stuff into both teams in this matchup. And so to me, it comes down to the quarterbacks. And I think that's a later conversation whether or not Jared Goff is underrated or not. But it comes down to the quarterbacks, and I'm going to be really interested to see all throughout the sports world. Talk about, is Jared Goff underrated? Is Jared Goff underrated? We're gonna find out right now. We're gonna find out right now because to me, to this matchup comes down to the quarterbacks because everything around these quarterbacks is very, very similar
I
in this matchup.
disagree. But
Everything around these quarterbacks, to me, from my analytical viewpoint, is similar
you
around these
don't think the
quarterbacks
Lions have a better
with these
roster?
two teams. And I'm gonna close the point, and you can speak on it. To me, it's the same. And when you look at Golf, when you look at Lamar, I think it comes down to those two guys. And I'm really interested to see how Golf plays in this game. And so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Ravens because I just believe that Lamar Jackson is better than Jared Goff. You?
Um, the Ravens might win the game. They're at home, so it's hard to win. Baltimore's a really good home team, but to like kind of deflect your point a little bit, I think the Lions have the better roster. I do. I think from top to bottom, they got the better receivers, the better O line, I would say the better defense right now because the Baltimore's a little banged up. I think the only thing that really that the Ravens really have better is quarterback position and tight end maybe. Um, I think they have a better running back. Well, David Montgomery's hurt, but I still think Jameer Gibbs is better than the running backs on that team. I think the Lions just have a better overall roster. Um, it's gonna be interesting. It's a quick take, so I'm gonna man. I'm gonna take the Ravens though at home. I like the Ravens at home.
Ooh, that was
Yeah,
surprising.
because I usually
I
don't. But the
thought
Ravens
you were
at
gonna be the
home.
normal.
We're gonna find a lot. Listen,
Normal
listen.
Ravens hater that you always are.
We're gonna find a lot out about both teams here. I think this might be a little too tough for the Lions. I think the young Lions coming in here. This is a tough game to win. This is a tough
I
game to win on
disagree
the
with that
road.
take. I disagree with that take. I think these teams are match up beautifully. But I'm just gonna go with the quarterback in this situation. Um, as we move on. Big dogs play game. I mean, I love the segments that we just add to this. We have the on the big dogs quick takes. We got
Yeah,
the on the
read.
big
I'm gonna
dogs.
go pee. Read that. Read that graphic too.
We got cool. We got the under big dogs I mean, old school versus new school. We had guys like Shaq versus, the Dream. We had dudes on there like Kyrie Irving versus what's my guy name that used to play for the Heat? We had Kyrie Irving versus Man, why am I forgetting his name? Killer crossover between crossover guy. We had matchups like Carmelo Anthony versus George Gervin. Like, so under big dogs, old school versus new school takes be popping. The beatdown takes be popping. The beatdown takes is where teams that got blown out, we discuss what the heck happened. Quick takes. We talk about the takes that people want to hear about, but we don't got to spend too much time on it. Got a new on the big dogs parlay. One is starring Victor Wembanyama, high paid rookie, highly anticipated rookie coming into the NBA this season. And man, like, the focus is on him. Dare I say, just as much hype coming into his career in the NBA as said LeBron James. As so like, talk about this rookie of the year.
I think he's a lock for it, to be
And
honest.
let's understand what parlays are. Anybody that don't know what a parlay is, it's when you make a bet for something to happen. When you make a bet for something to happen to win money. So these are sports bets, right? And so Vegas is like the central place to make sports bets. These odds, the odds of Victor Wembanyama doing these things
Pretty
are
high.
all come from Vegas, and they are these odds are not bad odds. Like, you could put in some money against on these things and actually win some good money. And so let's start with the first one, rookie of the year. Rookie of the year. My graphic. Do I got it up, Gator?
Yeah, I have it up. Yeah, it's been up.
Look, look at these names. I'm not gonna lie to you. Home Green, OKC second overall pick of last year's draft, who is considered a rookie this season because he was out all last season with the foot injury that kept him out all last season, is fully healthy now. This dude who stands about 6'11", who has
7-1.
guard,
7-1.
excuse me, I stand corrected, Chet Holmgren, 7'1", player out of Gonzaga, when only spent his freshman year at Gonzaga, came, now he's here fully healthy, and technically a second year, but when you don't play your whole entire first year, they let you relive sort of what was supposed to be your rookie year. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Chet Holmgren is that dude. Better watch out for Chet Holmgren. I mean, this dude been around pros. Think about it. And this is sort of what happened with Finn. Finn came out season dominating. Why? Because his rookie year was stalled with an injury. So, but he got to be around the professional game. He got to be around pros for a whole entire year, practicing with pros, listening to pros, getting mentored by pros. No longer in classrooms at Oklahoma studying and being a student athlete. No, he got, like, basketball was his entire world. For a year without playing, he came in his rookie season dominating. One rookie of the year. Another prime example of that is Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons' rookie season was stalled because of an injury as well. Came second year, after having been away from LSU, been away from classroom setting, no longer a student athlete, got to completely focus on basketball, and was with the basketball guys, the pros, for a whole year, and then came in rookie season, quote unquote, and destroyed. Thank you for the balloons. I don't know who does that, but thank you. I'll take them. I don't know if you've seen that, Gator. How does that happen? I don't even know how that happens. Who does that effect?
You do. You press something on your keyboard or something.
I didn't press
You
anything. I
did
gotta.
something.
I mean, but anyway, at any rate, though, super dope, super dope. I love it. But at any rate, like Ben Simmons does the same thing. And so did the same thing. And so I'm looking at Chet Holmgren having been around pros. This OKC team is nothing to just, look over. Like these guys been balling. And he's been around pros, these guys, great mentors for a whole year, been able to just focus on nothing but basketball for a whole year. Watch out for Chet Holmgren. This ain't a cakewalk for Victor now. I love Victor and what he projects to be, but this ain't no cakewalk. Scoot Henderson, we got to keep in mind, Scoot Henderson
Would it
has
be?
been a
Would it
pro.
be a? Would it be?
You interrupted me. I'm in the flow right now. I'm in
Go
the
ahead.
flow.
Go
I'm
ahead.
in the
It
god
was an
darn.
important question. It was an important.
I'm
Go
in the
ahead.
god darn flow, Gator.
Go ahead.
God, leave. What's the
Go ahead.
question?
I was gonna say, would it be a disappointment if he didn't win it?
I feel like the points that I'm making, it won't be. It won't be. Because when you look at after I already talked up Chet Holmgren, when you look at Scoot Henderson, who, bruh, stuff that's coming out of camp of Portland Trailblazers camp is that this kid is the real deal. Scoot Henderson, third overall pick by the Portland Trailblazers in the previous NBA draft. Gotta understand, Scoot was a pro. He's been a pro. He didn't play college basketball. He went from high school to pro because of the new NBA rules that they're allowing guys to play in the lower level pro leagues instead of going to college. What this kid's been doing all year. Scoot Henderson is another guy who I really got my eye on in a situation. See, Victor's in a situation on the Spurs where he has Greg Pop, he has a system, he has teammates, he has things going on around him to support him, to allow him to have a steady diet en route to stardom and success. Scoot Henderson is being thrown right into the flames right away. He's going to have this team on his back from the tip. So he's going to be hot in that race of Rookie of the Year. Brandon Miller, second overall draft pick. So I mean, Brandon Miller is a stud. So that said, I'm taking Victor Wembanyama. I'm just saying, taking Victor Wembanyama to win it. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. You?
I think he should win it just with the level of hype that he's getting and how he's playing in the preseason. I think it would be a disappointment. I think it would because they drafted him to be the rookie of the year. That's who they believed in. That's the guy they're going with. I think it would be a disappointment. Um, would it be a surprise based on the odds that I'm looking at? No. I mean, 320, 370 is not. It's not bad. Like these guys really have like if you put in a bet for them right now, like it could hit. It very much could hit. So, but as close as Victor is to almost even money here, I would say it's definitely it would definitely be a disappointment because you'd be only getting double your money. So like that would be a disappointment. Like that would be a disappointing bet to lose.
Okay.
And we got we have
Next up.
what is the
The
over?
next one, I'm sorry. I got you. My bad. It's on me right
I'll
now.
leaving the parlay
Over
thing up. Yeah, what do you like in the over under?
Victor it's the Victor Wembanyama. 17 points, 17.5 points per game is what they have the bet set at. Do you like him
I got
going
the over.
over that?
Yeah, I got
Or
the
do
over.
you like him going under 17.5 points per game this year? How about you in the chat? Anybody?
I got the over
What
just
about you, Gator?
because they're literally the offense is gonna go through his hands, and he's scoring like 15 with limited minutes
Why
in
you
the.
don't got? Gator, we need the 17. We need that on there. We need that info on there. Over 17.5 next time.
Our viewers are gonna be paying attention to us. They know we're talking about the parlay. So
I know. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
um
It's the aesthetics, man. Aesthetics is important.
um I got the over. I think because he was scoring, he was averaging almost 12 and 15 in the regular season on I mean, in the preseason on limited minutes. Like he's playing 22 minutes a game in the preseason right now. He's gonna get up to 30, 32 in the regular season. So I think it's an easy over.
Kato, you know how I feel about this one, bro. You remember how I feel about on this one? Like, I, I still have question marks about Victor Wembanyama, the scorer. Remember I told you that?
Yeah, he's gonna
Like,
score. He's like 7. He's gonna score.
I just got question marks about Victor Wembanyama, the scorer.
He's gonna hit 2 threes a game. That's already six
I got
points.
question
That's
marks.
already six
Like
points.
like we can't fall in love with those highlights. I've watched complete games from this kid, and this Victor Wembanyama, the scorer, I think is going to take some time to formalize. I always stress that I love everything else that he brings to the game: rebounding, blocking, pass deflection, steals, running in like defensive presence, the passer because he could see over everybody. But the scorer, I have my question mark, so I'm going to take the under here on this one, Gator.
Okay. And 8.5
Un
rebounds.
and now we're at Vegas has Victor Wembanyama at 8.5 rebounds per game. Do we got the over or the under on that? Me, I
That's
side with
high.
the over.
That's high.
I
Yeah.
side with the over on this. I have no fear. See, I think Victor Wembanyama is when what a lot of people are getting mixed up about this kid is that everybody is so bought into his finesse, and I'm not one of those guys. I'm not the guy that thinks he is like he is finesse. He is. No, it's not. But everybody is so bought into it that their focus is being so geared to what he's going to do as a scorer. I think we underestimate his grit. I think we underestimate his wanting to be great right away. Like, no waiting, no, like, I need 1 or 2 years. I'm only 18. Like, I need a couple years to get right. Like, right away, right out the gate, I think we're going to see the intangibles flourish. Intangibles meaning every other stat besides the scoring stat. I think we're going to see those things flourish. He's around the right guys. Tim Duncan is one of his mentors. Greg Pop is one of his mentors. We got to remember, he got drafted to one of the best possible organizations that you could in the NBA that you could be drafted to. San Antonio Spurs in the NBA is like what the Patriots are in the National Football League. It just is. It's just one of those organizations that is going to do right by this kid. And why I keep calling for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots to just say, you know what? Let's stop playing. Let's get with the times and let's get a quarterback that is elite, because when you do that, get one of those guys in there in a building like that with the personnel like that they have from the coaching standpoint, great things are going to happen. So with this Victor Wembanyama do on an organization like this, they're going to bring the right stuff out of this kid. They're not going to let this kid just come in there doing whatever he wants in terms of like, oh, I just want to focus on being a scorer. No, they're going to while in practice, you could have got that rebound, or you could have made that play, or you could have altered that shot. You could have blocked that. You like there's a lot of and he's the type of personality, the type of makeup DNA to respond well to those things, to take criticism well. A lot of these kids we already know in these times can't take criticism well, can't take constructive criticism well. He's not one of those kids. They're gonna be like, bro, you're 7'4". Get that rebound. What are you doing?
I like the over in
I
both.
got I got I got the over. I
I
got
like
the
the
over.
over in both too. I think when we're talking about him being rookie of the year, he's gonna have to do that. So if I'm gonna say he gets the rookie of the year, I think he puts. I think he hits the over in both. Um, I
Do
don't
the
see why
Spurs?
he can't get 10 rebounds a game. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm putting over 8.5 for me. That's for me.
It's
Do the
high, but
Spurs do not at 7-4? Do the Spurs? Do the Spurs win over 29.5 basketball games this season? First of all, like that's low. Like we
it's low.
understand.
It's
Like
very low. But
we
their team is
understand.
bad. Their team is bad though.
And the roster is porous as we take a look at this roster here. in a second as Gator pulls up this graphic. Thank you, Gator.
It's up there. Right?
Yep, see it now. I
I'm gonna
mean,
let me
I mean,
start on this one. Let me
yeah,
start.
go ahead.
I'm gonna go under. I don't think Victor Wembanyama makes them a winning basketball team. I think he's a phenomenal player, but he's not LeBron. I don't think he's LeBron. I don't think he's gonna make.
Wow.
I don't think he's gonna make his team, but I think he's gonna be really good individually. I don't think he instantly makes his team a playoff team or anything like that. I think that's kind of blasphemous. I expect a lot from the kid, but I don't expect him. I don't expect his play to uh
Like winning.
winning. Yeah. Exactly.
Wow. I mean, I disagree, Gator. Not gonna lie to you, and I'm gonna harp on it again. And like I'm tired of beating the same drum. I really, really am. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm even tired of it. But he's going to affect the game in more ways than we actually see coming. And I think this is one of the most easiest over under picks to make
You might have to put some bread on it then.
in NBA history. 29 and a half wins. Like,
That's a lot
we
of
gotta
wins.
understand.
That is a lot of
Like, we
wins.
got
You're
that's
acting
not a
like
lot of
it's
wins. That's not a
not.
lot
It
of wins. That's not a
is.
lot of wins. That's not a
Compared
lot
to
of
how
wins.
much
That's
they
not
won last year?
no team has ever made the playoffs with that record in NBA history. Like, so you gotta understand.
Obviously.
That's not a lot. Exactly. So don't say that's a lot.
It's still
Don't
30.
say
It's still
that's a
over
lot of
30. It's
wins.
still about
Out of
40.
out of eight
It's still
out of
40%.
80.
It's still 40% of their games. That's a lot, bro.
Put it like that. That does make sense when you put it like that.
Games. Like,
So let me look at their roster. Devin Vassell, who just signed the big deal, who is a really good player.
they only
Kendall
won
Johnson.
22 last year.
Kendall Johnson. You talking about Victor can't make 7 more wins?
No.
Kendall Johnson. Kendall
No.
Johnson. Kendall Johnson from
You just said he
Keldon
might
Johnson
not
from
win Rookie of the Year. How is he going to win?
Keldon Johnson out of Kentucky. Because this I'm naming the guys right now. Keldon Johnson out of Kentucky. Trey Jones out of Duke. Devin Vassell. Seti Usman from the Cavaliers. Devontae Graham. Like
I'm
I'm
hearing a
looking at
bunch
these
of
guys.
bums.
Julian Champagne, who I really, really like. Um, it's just I'm Jeremy Socon. Like I love these. I mean, with Greg Pop, with Victor. Look, I'm gonna take the over, and I think I'm gonna put money on that as well. Because to me, if Victor doesn't affect winning right out the gate, I will start to probably veer off of my top 15, you know, my top 15 as Crest season. Thank you for joining the chat. Says I think Vic is great, but he don't got that make a whole team better type great. Press, I disagree with you. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I got Victor
Two Christians
as
agreeing with each other. It has to be true.
I got Victor as we move on before move on to the next topic with this closing statement. Victor is a his floor to me, like his floor. Victor's floor is a top 15 player of all time. That's his floor. And so to me, which means that obviously his ceiling, the sky's the limit. And so to me, if your floor is a top 15 player and right out the gate you can't get your team winning at least 30 games out of 82, I might have to change that prediction. Real talk. And so I think I'm gonna go ahead and go with the over on the 29 and a half wins for Victor Wembanyama. As we move on to our second to last topic of the day. After this topic, we got our week 7 NFL picks, predictions, and then we have our week 7, as you know, Gator and I gives our week 7 parlays to the public. We tell you who we have as a lock to win these NFL games, who our locks are, so that you can put those locks on your legs. And so We're going to give that to you in the closing segment as well. But for this topic, we got to talk about it. Because this dude that we're about to talk about what was a number 1 overall draft pick. I want to say, no, I might be wrong, but St. Louis Rams at the time, maybe. Now the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, I think it was St. Louis at the time, but now the Los Angeles Rams, number 1 overall pick, player, the PFF gives Jared Goff.
Yeah, it was Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, the highest quarterback grade this season. PPF gave him this like so
I'll lead that into the next
topic.
What is that? I'll lead that into is Goff the most underrated quarterback in the NFL?
What does PPF stand for again?
Pro Football Focus.
Yes, Pro Football Focus grades Jared Goff highest quarterback grade this season so far. Is Goff the most underrated quarterback in the NFL? Are you going to kick us off, Gator, or what?
Yeah, I think he most.
I mean,
he's underrated. He's definitely most underrated.
Just talk to the underrated part. You know what I mean?
He's definitely underrated because nobody's talking about Jared Goff. I mean, and the Lions really went out and made a move. They traded Stafford for Goff, and a lot of Lions fans weren't really too sure about that. But that trade worked out on both sides. You know, the Rams got a Super Bowl out of it, and the Lions got better. He's been to a Super Bowl before, so it's not like he knows how to win in the playoffs as well. Played well in that playoff run. Like that team, the Jared Goff is not just a quarterback that was playing on good teams. Like he really is. I think he like this year his record just broke, but he had at one point this year he was nearing the record for most throws without an interception in NFL history. He didn't get it obviously, but he was up there. So the guy doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He's very proficient, very accurate. He could be a little weird under pressure sometimes, but I feel like that's every quarterback in the NFL. You know, we saw that with Brock Purdy just this week. Dude is usually automatic, doesn't miss throws, and all over the place today when he got a little pressure. So, I think he's underrated. I would have to go through all these quarterbacks to be honest. He's up there. He's definitely one of the most underrated. I would agree with that stance. He's definitely one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL because no one talks about him. When you're talking about the Detroit Lions, no one is thinking about Jared Goff. You start talking about the coaching, you start talking about the defense, you start talking about Aiden Hutchinson. He's like the last person on your list. You're like, ooh, Jared Goff. Amon-Ra St. Brown, no one is talking about Jared Goff on that football team, so he has to be underrated.
Look, but because you gave me better perspective on this, because I was so ready to tee off and say, heck no, he's average, he's just okay, he ain't all that. But you sort of made me understand, okay, answering the question, most underrated. Underrated in general, absolutely. Because yes, we do completely overlook him. Completely. It's not even a little bit or some of the bit.
He's better than a lot of starting quarterbacks in this league.
We literally completely overlook Jared Goff. So I have to give you the notion that he is underrated. However, say Jared Goff is underrated doesn't mean that I'm saying he's any good.
Let's play a game. Would you rather edition? Jared Goff, Derek Carr.
I hate this. I guess this is good. You done made this good now. Wow.
Jared Goff on that Saints team would look sick with those receivers. I'll start easier. Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. Okay, he's not underrated then. If you're not saying he's not better than Baker Mayfield, he ain't underrated to you at least. I'm taking Jared Goff over both of those quarterbacks.
But the point I was making was
I've seen Jared Goff be good on two teams, two different teams, two different total different situations.
The point I was making was
for those guys.
The point I was making was underrated in terms of being overlooked, in terms of being not spoken about.
Just not the fact, okay, the fact that the fact that you're saying that you're really comparing Baker Mayfield. No, he's overrated. Nah, Jared Goff's overrated because you're really about to sit here and not tell me who's better, Baker Mayfield or Jared Goff. So in that sense, like the point's proven, he's definitely underrated. Like you're really sitting here comparing him to Baker Mayfield. So like he's got to be underrated. You're definitely underrating him. No?
How does that
He's clearly better than Baker Mayfield. Okay. The Lions are not the same team with Baker Mayfield. They're hard. They're probably bad. I wouldn't say bad, but they're not 5-1. They're not 5-1.
No, Ben Johnson got this offense shaped, and bro, Baker Mayfield in that offense in Tampa, who doesn't have a Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator, doesn't have a run game like the Detroit Lions do, don't have an O-line like the Detroit Lions do. And Baker, we cannot sit here and say that Baker has not been looking really good this season. We have to say that Baker's been looking good this season. We got to say that. We got to acknowledge that. And I don't know if Baker in this, bro, we got to remember the Baker Mayfield that we saw. We got to understand, Pro Football Focus had Baker Mayfield, the year that Baker Mayfield brought the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs for the first time, and I forget how many years, it's been like 20 years, when Baker Mayfield brought the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs, and they beat the Steelers in the first round of that playoffs. Pro Football Focus that year, Baker Mayfield for the entire year. Now, this is Pro Football Focus for
Jared Goff got the Rams to the
Let me just finish this point. You just interrupted a great Pro Football Focus. They got Jared Goff rated as the best quarterback through 6 games. Pro Football Focus had Baker Mayfield that season top 5. Pro Football Focus the year that he took the Browns to the playoffs that season.
Not number 1 though.
And again, 16 games versus 6 games. I just said that.
He didn't play 16 games that year, did he?
Baker, yes, he did start all 16 games that season.
Halfway.
No, that's not his rookie year.
Oh, okay. The year they lost to the Chiefs.
Year that they went to the playoffs. Yes, this is like his 3rd or 4th year. So what I'm saying is they had him top 5 for the season that year, and we all remember that Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt was the driving force of that offensive. We can't ignore these kind of things around this guy Jared Goff. The support system that this kid has had with both McVay and now in this Lions situation is glaring to me. And I look at Goff as Reg, but he might be more than Reg. I want him to continue to prove me wrong. I wish the guy well. I don't wish any one person wrong. And so I hope he proves me wrong.
I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say it, and we'll go to our picks. I think he's better than Eli Manning. Next.
All right.
And one's a Hall of Famer, probably.
Okay, so Jared Goff with the picks. No, you can't. No. You can't do that. You can't say that. When I be making my closing statements, it be stuff that people don't care to dispute or rebuttal against. Like
with my eyes,
I'm gonna say, all I'm saying is it be stuff that people don't care to rebuttal against. You can't just throw stuff like out there like Jared Goff is better than Eli and think we could just move on real quick from that. I'll just have a quick take. We ain't gonna take one, just a quick one, very quick. Eli Manning against that same coach, against that same defense, that Jared Goff saw in the Super Bowl went to work in not one, but 2 Super Bowls against this guy. Jared Goff, on the other hand, total points in the entire football game. We're talking about an offense in the Rams that season that was the innovative offense that year. That was at the top of the league in offensive efficiency and offensive explosive plays. And like there was so many stats that the Rams sat at the top of the league that season for. And so to put up 3 points in the entire Super Bowl, that was wild. That was crazy. And that's what Jared Goff did to the New England Patriots versus what Eli Manning did to the New England Patriots in both Super Bowls. So that is a horrible
Nick
take
Foles scored 45. It happens. On Bill Belichick's defense. It happens.
Okay. Week 7 NFL pick, Gator. Week 7
I'm
NFL
61 and 32. I'm sitting at a almost 66% success rate on these. I'll start us off.
That's actually really, really good.
I had the Jags on Thursday, so I'm starting off the week well. I got the Raiders even without Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the Raiders lean on their run game, get Davante Adams involved a little more today. Jacoby Myers has been an amazing piece on that offense, but that's like Jimmy Garoppolo's favorite target. So I expect a big day out of actually Davante Adams this week. They pull it off. I got the Bucks to beat the Falcons. Falcons are a horrible road team. I got the Colts to beat the Browns. The Browns if Deshaun Watson plays. If Deshaun Watson doesn't play, I got the Colts. I got the Commanders. Sam Howell is going to have a big day. That offense has a big day against the Giants. I got the Bills easy in that one. I'm going to take the Ravens at home, Seahawks at home, Rams at home. I'm going to take the Broncos to beat the Packers in a slight upset. Oh, no, they're favorites. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Dolphins and the Niners. Oh, I don't have the thing up.
You don't have the graphic up, so you just throwing out predictions.
Well,
you don't have the graphic.
Those are my picks, y'all. I'll leave it up for a little bit here. Just run through it, talk about a few of them. I like the Ravens at home in that close matchup, just because they're at home. If the Lions were at home, I would have took the home team. Sometimes you just gotta. If you're not sure, go with the home team. That's how, and it's been working so far. 66%. So listen to my picks. Broncos. I think the Broncos at home pull it off here. I don't like Jordan Love. I don't like that team. I'm just not thrilled with the Packers, man. I don't like what I'm seeing from their offense. I think the Broncos win that game just because their defense plays a little better. Their defense has been playing better too. So that Chargers-Chiefs matchups, I could not. Seeing that the Chiefs were home now, I cannot not take them at Arrowhead. And the Dolphins, I just think the Dolphins pull it off. I just think they're the most impressive AFC team. They're my AFC favorites, I think, right now. I think they kind of manhandle. I think the Eagles get a little wake-up call here. They had a bad loss against the Jets, and I think they get a big wake-up call in Philly.
Okay.
You had the Saints, so start us off. Try to come back off of that. I
had the Saints?
You had the Saints. You and Verts had the Saints. You are 53 and 40, so he's got some catching up to 53 and 41. If I had the loss,
Saints made a comeback and tied it up.
Oh,
At least they did that.
Oh well, only counts in horseshoes, my friend. Let's try to get a win. Let's see if you can make this comeback.
Where we at? What's my record right now? What's my overall?
53 and 40.
I'm not mad at that. I'm over 50% shooting from the field right now. Anyway, I am going in this Raiders.
Me, though.
That's not bad. That's actually not bad.
It's a lot.
Raiders at.
It's a full week.
No, it's not. It's so many games left. Raiders at Bears. You literally could mess that up in a matter of a week. Raiders at Bears.
Not this week, though. 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 Not this week, though
Raiders at Bears. I'm gonna go with the Raiders with no Justin Fields. Even though that bothers me to take the Raiders, even with no Justin Fields, because they've been that putrid this year.
Max Crosby,
3-3.
he gonna get to them.
Okay, going with the Raiders. Deshaun Watson back. Going with the Browns. That defense.
Skip the Bucks.
Bills at Patriots.
Falcons Bucks.
Going with the Bills. Washington Commanders Giants. I'm sorry. I'm going off the graphic on ESPN because I didn't know that my guy had the graphic up yet. Excuse me. Okay, where are we at? I got the Browns over the Colts. I got this Commanders Giants game, man. I like what I've been seeing lately from the Giants, albeit that they're 1-5. At least they're not going to just completely throw the white towel in. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Giants in this divisional rivalry matchup. I'm going to take the Bills against the Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and take the. I don't see the Falcons situation.
Bucks. Falcons at Bucks. Second game.
You don't got it here on the graphics.
I do.
Oh, there you go. No, okay, game. It is. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Buccaneers on this game in that game.
Lions Ravens.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the Ravens here. I think it's gonna come down to the quarterbacks. Cardinals at Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. Steelers at Rams. Give me the Rams. I don't know actually with this Rams game.
No, that's scary because Steelers had a bye. They're coming off a bye, so
they had a bye, and that's the issue. And I know Mike Tomlin does pretty well coming off buys. That game is going to be a poppy. That's an underrated game right there. Wow. Give me the Rams to pull that game off. My lock for the week, I'll tell you in a moment. With that Rams matchup, sometimes I don't want to. You can take the over on that. That's an over on the lock for the over for that game. I'll bring that up again. Packers at Broncos. Give me the Broncos in a blowout. Chargers at Chiefs. Give me the Chargers. Dolphins at Eagles. Give me the Eagles. 49ers at Vikings. Give me the Vikings. I think the 49ers have like a little mini 2-game slump that they're about to go on. So give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings.
That's one way to catch up to me. Just always bet against the Niners, because I'm always gonna go Niners.
All right, and it's at least 9 weeks on.
Yeah, so that's his picks of the week. I'll lock that in before we make our parlays and kick the show off and send you into the weekend. Let me refresh the page real quick.
All right. So
we are 12-8-1. We are 12-8-1, so we're above 500. We're winning money.
We're above 500. We're above 500, but we're not great.
That's no.
But
for picking 50-50, if we were betting $100 each game, we up $400 right now. We up $400. So
I guess that makes sense.
So
look, man. If this come across your eyes, man, if you see this, man, these are me and Gators locked for the week. So add these to your legs. Add these to your parlay legs for our sports gamblers out there. Look, man. See, whatever one, and this is the best way to do it. Whatever one that you've been like sort of like back and forth about, like, man, like I believe in this team and I believe in this team, but I don't know if I should do it. If we say that team's name, that's your confirmation right there to throw them on your ticket. All right. So let it be known.
We've been right more than we've been wrong. So
Gator, who are your locks this week?
I got the Dolphins. Lock plus 2.5. They could lose the game by 1 or 2. They could lose by a field goal. They could lose by a last-second field goal and lose by 1 or 2. I got them plus the 2.5. I think they win the game outright, but we'll take the 2.5 just in case.
Wow. My lock for the week, my first lock for the week is going to be the Steelers at the Rams. Whatever the over and under is, whatever the total score is for this game, take the over. I'm pretty confident in the over for this Steelers-Rams matchup. So take the over in this Steelers-Rams matchup. That's my first lock. If you're talking to someone else, Gator, you're muted if you're talking. But that's my first lock. While Gator is muted, I'll give you my second lock.
Yeah, give your second lock.
I'll give you my second lock. My second lock is going to be. I already had it. I'm trying. Oh yes, the Broncos. Look, it says -1 here, but I would up this ante by at least a touchdown. Dare I say double digits? So I would alternate the spread for the Broncos. Put the Broncos at -9.5. So have the Broncos to win by at least double digits. That's my second lock. Gator?
I got the Bills -8.5 as my third lock. I know it's a division game. The Bills got to get right. I'm expecting final like another like they gotta
Okay.
have a big game offensively. Like
Okay.
if they don't cover this 8.5, I'm done believing in the Bills. They gotta
Okay.
This Patriots team is putrid. They have to beat them by double digits.
Okay.
That's
Bet.
another great show. Close us out. I opened it. You close us out.
That's another beautiful show of On the Big Dog Sports Show. Not a podcast, but a sports show. And you will see why. As the production grows, as the websites are laid, as the platforms are being built on top of more platforms, and you see how lit, live, and direct this thing gets, you're going to start to understand why this is a show rather than a podcast. And it's going to be super, super lit and super dope once the sports community starts to rally around under Big Dogs. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Mars Dogs, Anthony, Crest Season, thank you for talking in the YouTube chat. We appreciate you being, here at the beginning before this thing gets absolutely ridiculous. And we are always going to make sure we give you shout outs and we make sure that we get you on the show if you ever want to be on the show live with us because you are our day ones. So we appreciate that. All of these takes will go up on social medias. So look out for that. Comment in those social media posts when they go up. We just had a post go up around top 5 NBA teams
Did
where
very
we
well on
had two
TikTok. It
guys
had 10 likes
where
on
we had
TikTok.
two yeah, well, we had two guys in our TikTok
Oh, the
absolutely
NBA
just
one. You're talking about the NBA one.
yeah, the NBA one
The NFL one
absolutely
did really
going.
good today too.
The NBA one, two guys in the comments were absolutely going at one another, and that's what we love in this Under Big Dogs community. So look out for these posts on the social media posts and comment which your takes and your opinions under those posts. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. Under Big Dog Sports Show is out.
Have a good
Everybody enjoy
weekend,
your weekend.
everyone. Yeah.
Enjoy the games. Oh my
Ohio
goodness,
State,
sports is
Penn
a
State,
beautiful
12
thing.
o'clock to start us
Sports
off.
is a beautiful thing. Sports is a beautiful thing. My fiance runs the master's program at Wagner College, sports administration program. So if you are an up and coming college student, start to consider the sports administration master's program at Wagner College in Staten Island, New York. Please, man, consider that program. They already got the undergraduate program up and running, but they got that by the time you get your undergraduate degree, they're definitely going to have the master's sports administration program, because my beautiful queen is running is opening up that program. So look out for that. God bless everybody, man. We out of here. On the Big Doses.